So now for part 2 of our perspective lesson, we're doing 1-point linear perspective. We just have our vanishing point right in the center, and we've made 9 boxes. Now we're going to add features to this that will be details that we could add to any sort of building, interior or exterior space. So over on the one on the top left, what I'm basically going to show you guys how to do is to make boxes on top of boxes. So if you had to do cabinetry, locker banks, a chimney, this is the type of technique that you would actually do. So this is not going to actually look like a building at the end. These are just strategies that you could use to make something have an addition. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to start by drawing some rectangles on the front, the top, the bottom, and I think for the bottom one, I'm going to try to make it so that it lines up with the one in the top so it looks like it's actually going through. So if you had lockers or something that was equal height, you would always line them up so that they match. We'll do the left. And the right. This one I'm having connect directly to this side. Okay, so basically, it's like we just started where we have everything that is just one side of it. So now we have to make it look three-dimensional. So in order to do that, I'm going to get rid of a couple of these extra lines here. I guess that's the only one I do have. And I want to make it 3D. So when we made it 3D before, we had to decide what part or what side would we see, and what do we need to line up to our vanishing point. Process of elimination. I have horizontal and vertical lines here. The only way to make it look 3D is to add a diagonal. It's the only line I haven't used. So I'm going to line it up. This is a bird's eye. So I would see the under portion. So I'm going to have the corner off to the on the bottom. I'm going to line it up. I get to decide how thick it's going to be. So I'm lining these corners up. Notice that these both are going to the vanishing point. I'm going to do this upper side. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line to add that size. Okay. So then on the bottom here, it's kind of opened up. All right, double checking to make sure I drew that correctly. Then, if this is a horizontal, this back part has to be a horizontal as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the top one since I want it to be the same thickness. I'm going to line it up to the vanishing point. Draw a diagonal line. And notice that it ran into the top. So I'm actually not going to draw another side of that. So on this one, I'm going to draw to the vanishing point. Maybe this one extends off. Okay. So get rid of this little line here. If this is a horizontal, this is going to be a horizontal. This one here goes to the vanishing point. Right, so it's kind of skinny like a locker bank. Oop. Just wasn't paying attention. Gotta line it up to the vanishing point or it's incorrect. Okay, so that's, oh, forgot this one. Do the front one.
Catherine Griffin, report to the front desk. Catherine Griffin, report to the front desk. I repeat, Catherine Griffin, report to the front desk. Catherine Griffin, report to the front desk at the main entrance. Thank you.
Gotta love interruptions at the end of the day. So that's boxes on boxes. Another thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to draw some doors and some openings. And so this principle applies for things like windows and doors. It's not going to actually look like a door that you could enter, but it's going to be like a trap door. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to draw the opening. I'm going to just draw it so that that opening is parallel to the side that it's on. So if I had to draw a window, the tops of it would be horizontal and vertical if it was on the front side. If it was on this left side, it would go vertical. And then since the top and the bottom of it go to the vanishing point, this top and bottom of the window would have to as well. For this bottom portion, it goes horizontally, it goes diagonal, so I've got 3 like windows or openings. Okay, so if I want to make this look like it is has a door, first thing I have to do is I have to think about thickness. I don't want things to look like they're paper thin unless it actually is paper. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add some thickness here. So I have to kind of think about this. When I'm actually drawing something, I can see it. But when I'm just doing it theoretically, I have to kind of figure out what part I would actually see. So I would see the upper thickness of this door because it's above my eye. So I'm going to take the corner here and draw a little diagonal line. Okay? So I'm kind of exaggerating the thickness here so you can see it. Then I would draw a horizontal line and a vertical line. So just to illustrate, I'm going to shade this in really fast. This would be the interior of the space. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Would I see thickness at the top or the bottom? If I were looking at this angle, I would see this back wall here. Notice I used a vertical. I haven't used a vertical in this shape. I used a diagonal and horizontal, so the only way to show depth is the last one. Alright, so this is that interior space. Okay. And then the last one, where would I see the thickness? So if I was looking at it this way, I'd see it as a horizontal line, because I've already used a vertical and diagonal, coming on the upper portion. Notice we use the upper portion here. And then draw the thickness. So remember, pause this whenever you need to get yourself caught up. I'm going to go ahead and add a door. So I'm going to take a door, I'm going to connect it to the outer side here. So where I put these little dots, that's where I'm going to add the door. I'm going to go ahead and open it up away from the box. Right? And because it is coming at us, it's going to look a little bit larger than the opening. Right? I want to make it look a little bit bigger so that it looks like it's getting closer to me. So right now it's paper thin, so I'm going to go ahead and add dimension to it. So I used a diagonal and a vertical, so I've got to go horizontally. And then notice how this is a horizontal. And extend it out. Okay. On this bottom one, I'm going to swing the door down vertically. Because that's the same direction as that thickness. I'm going to go ahead and give it some thickness by going to the vanishing point, because that's the only kind of line I haven't used is a diagonal. And then the last one, I'm going to swing out this way. So I'm going to connect the corners of it to the vanishing point. Do we have doorways? I'm going to stop to make the video a little shorter, and then I'll continue in the third video.